stand-up in about 4 months, so it's kind of weird being up here. I took a break from it to work on my waitressing career. I don't really get paid for it yet. Right now I'm just in soup kitchens, you know, trying to get my name out there. Maybe get some gigs. But no, waitressing can be really frustrating. And you guys probably know why, because A, you've either been a waitress or a waiter, or B, you do those things because you're an awful person. For example, I had this table, right, and I brought them their food, and I was like, is there anything else I can get for you guys right now? They're like, no, we're good. I'm like, cool. So I go back a few minutes later, I'm like, everything good? Right away, this lady's like, could we get some refills? Like, suggesting the whole table needed refills in a voice that sounded like they were all about to die of dehydration. So I was like, all right, sure, I'll get you some refills. So I look around at the glasses to see who needed a refill. Do you know how many people needed a refill? 1. And it wasn't even her. And you want to know why that pissed me off even more? Because that means someone at the table is too much of a little bitch to ask for a refill for themselves. Another thing that's really frustrating is on the weekends when it gets really busy, you know, there's lines out the door and everything, and people will complain about the wait or like how long their food is taking. They're like, we're starving and we have children. They expect you to be like, children? Like, there's the answer to your problems right there. Eat your kids. Do us all a favor, because they're being obnoxious as fuck anyways. Make me want to drink. Who here is drinking tonight? Any alcoholics? I'm gonna leave some AA pamphlets in the back. I don't want you to quit. I'm just saying, like, I don't want you to ruin your tables, and coasters can be pricey. Like, why not spend that money on booze on booze instead? Unless you're a hardcore alcoholic, then you just never set that shit down. Or you can do, your other option is you can do what every middle-aged mom does, you know, like on vacation at some bar. She just takes their cardboard coasters. They say something like drink, relax, repeat. She's like, everybody, give me your coasters. Let me put them in my duffel bag. purse. She won't even let you use them while you're there. But no, drinking's cool. Unless you're with like annoying drunks. Mainly girls. Do you guys know what white girl wasted is? Yeah? It's those girls that you get drunk, they're like, oh my god, I just love you guys so much. You know what we should do? Let's go driving. Let's go driving, guys. You're like, you're wasted. She's like, I'm not even drunk. And then she's throwing up in the corner. I don't really get white girl wasted. The only thing I do that's like kind of like that is I like to tell people I love them. But white girl wasted girls do it because they're fucking delusional. I do it because when I'm drinking, I get this like superpower. I'll be walking around at a party and I'll like see someone's face and I start getting all these flashbacks of all the times I've been mean to them. And I'm just like horrified. I'm like, I love you. They're like, sweetie, you're drunk. And I'm like, no, you're drunk. I'm just a terrible person. There's a difference. Don't call me sweetie, bitch. Has anyone here like helped or watched someone get drunk for the first time? Yeah. I've done it quite a bit, and I don't know what it is, but it's like they never think that alcohol's gonna work. Like they just keep drinking in case the last 6 shots aren't gonna do anything. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm just trying to get drunk. You're like, did you just throw up in your mouth and then swallow it? I think you're drunk. Alright, that's all I got for you guys tonight. Thank you.
I'm celebrating an anniversary tonight. I haven't masturbated in 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Clap for it. It's an accomplishment. I know what you're thinking. It's not because I get so much hot pussy that I don't have to. That's only most of the reason. It's not because I have great self-control either. It's actually because I don't have any self-control, so I get shit-hammered drunk 7 nights out of the week, and then somehow manage to drive my car all the way back home to Davison. Yeah. But by the time I get there, I don't have the hand-eye coordination to tug on my penis for a few minutes before I black out. So I don't know how I'm pulling that one off. I do like to drink. I know. I like to have a couple of drinks. That's real. That's a true story. But it's tough when you do comedy because you have to drive a lot. You know, sometimes I'll have too much fun at a show and I got a long drive home. I'll space out for long periods of time. I'll miss a couple of things, which makes me nervous. Especially when I snap back into reality. When I see something exciting, like an end of roadwork sign. But I'm nervous because I don't remember seeing any fucking roadwork. So now I'm pretty sure I owe somebody $7,500 and up to 15 years in prison. I can't afford that shit, man. I also chain smoke when I'm driving, which is very unhealthy. I'm trying to quit smoking altogether right now, but it's tough, man. It's not easy. Your friends will give you advice on how to quit smoking, like mine like to tell me I should try chewing gum, because chewing gum is a safer alternative to smoking. But I think that's bullshit. Because I've never bitten the inside of my cheek really hard while I was smoking. And chewing gum stuff is dangerous. Every time I'm up here doing comedy, I always have to address my appearance because I realize I look a little different than the rest of the stand-ups. There's certain physical attributes that stand out about me right away. An obvious one being these weird hands. And you guys all picked up on that right away. I do. I've got a long, skinny skeleton fingers. I got the ET pointer, which is cool. I like having big hands, though, because guys with big hands have a reputation. Am I right, lady, that has something to say about everything? Yeah. You know what they say about guys with big hands? They say that shaking their hand feels like grabbing a bunch of pencils. At least in my experience, that's what they say. You didn't think I was talking about that big dick thing, did you? Because these pants are tight. We can bust that myth right here tonight. Do you guys like conspiracy theories?
Yeah.
Right on. I got a new one for you. Have you ever noticed that vitamin water and Vietnam War have almost all the same letters in it? Yeah. I'm not 100% sure that's a coincidence. I'll tell you guys a true story. Because the rest of this has been bullshit. I never drive drunk. I've got a really good dick. But this is a true story about how I quit my last job. My last job was a cashier at a dollar store. And it's a true story about how I quit. I know, how did I let that go? It was a sweet gig. But I quit one day because I was just at work doing my normal thing. And I was stocking, this lady came up to me and she said, "Hey, I'm moving and I need some boxes." And I was like, "Right on, I'm gonna make this lady's day." I said, "I've got all these boxes, you can have them all." She said, "Yeah, saw those. You're not big enough. I need some bigger boxes." So I said, "Oh, well, you can have these boxes." "All right, I don't know." This one got kind of shitty, you guys. She leaned in and she said, "Okay, Seth." And she flicked my little name tag, which is the worst goddamn thing you can do somebody wearing a name tag. Say their name while you flick it. She said, "Seth, I'm going to be back in 3 hours. You think you can have some bigger boxes emptied by then?" And I was like, no. You can have these boxes. And she flipped. She said, "Oh, forget it. I'll get them somewhere else." And I was like, "Oh no. What am I going to do with all the boxes? Throw them in the dumpster like I do every goddamn night?" But like I said, she was shitty. It kind of pissed me off. I decided I was going to bite back. I was going to be an asshole for once. Yeah. So on our way out of the store, I waved and I said, "Hey, good luck with the boxes." Because that's me being an asshole, you guys. That's the worst I got in me. She replied by turning around and giving me the meanest old lady finger you've ever seen in your life. Just all wrinkly and shaky, like rings on it that didn't fit quite right. And I was appalled. I said, "No, not today. Today I make my stand." So I followed her out of the store and I threw the door open And I pointed at her. And I said, "Hey, you're a fucking cunt." Yeah. True story. It felt really good. But it was short-lived. Because without skipping a beat, she just turned around and said, "Oh yeah, that's what I am," and then went on with her day. I was like, oh man, she's probably heard this a couple times today already. Didn't even faze her. My favorite part of the story is though, I went back in expecting to be fired immediately, but no one else could finish the shift. So I got to stay the rest of the day and ring up all these people that watched me call that lady a fucking cunt. And I couldn't have been nicer to him. And then I just left. That's what I'm going to do right now. Thanks for your time, guys. I'm set.
And you know, I drive a shitty car and I'm embarrassed by it, but I still kind of think that I should drive a shitty car. You know, I'm 25. Like, it kind of almost makes me mad when young people drive nice cars. Like, what are you driving a nice car for? Like, do you need that all-wheel drive turbo just to get your serving job at Bob Evans? Do you need that? Do you need that high-fidelity speaker system to listen to independent woman music? You know, I can't. It sounds like Taylor Swift is over it. I know she's not over it. I can't understand it. I still am embarrassed, especially in front of attractive girls in my car, you know, because I hear that that's an attraction, you know. A guy with a nice car, that's an attractive quality. And I've asked a few girls, like, why is that an attractive quality? And the gist I get is that if a guy has a nice car, then he takes care of it. And then maybe he'll take care of me. You can't argue with that heartfelt logic, you know? But it's a little bit unfair to me, because, you know, I treat my car like a car because it's a car. You get me so far? Hotel bar? Like, if I treated my car like I treated women that I date, I would be a serial murderer. I would be dragging girls down the highway squealing with red duct tape on her ass, leaking fluids. I would go to jail for riding her drunk. How fair is that?
Fall's here. I'm pretty stoked about fall. I like it more than summer because you can be a little bit more deceptive with your clothing. Like in summer, everyone kind of knows what I'm working with, but in the fall, I can layer and do a lot of optical illusions. You don't know what's going on until it's too late. It's like, you're already here, like, trying to fuck. I mean, a lot of people like being single because they like the hunt. They like the hunt. I'm not as much a hunter as I am a trapper. Ha! Gotcha. You're already here. You might as well do work. I got 2 grandmas on Facebook now. One of them's cute. She, when I post pictures, she's always like, "Oh, it looks like you're having a lovely time. Love you." And she always signs it Grandma, like her picture's not right there. I don't know who it is, you know, there's like a comma too. It's real nice. My other grandma's just a huge dickhead on Facebook. All she does is like post pictures of Donald Trump and guns. Like, I didn't know how shitty my grandma was until she got on Facebook. She's like a real racist loser. I knew her, like, I don't even know she has any guns. All I knew is she made nice pies. And like, I'm like, what are you all excited about guns for, Grandma? We need to have an intervention on you. You're being real shitty. No, I just go eat pie. I don't say anything. It's all right. I just hid that shit from my Facebook feed is all. What else do we want to talk about? Speaking of Donald Trump, I dig Donald Trump. Like, I don't want to vote for him, but I like that he's there because he's fucking everything up. Is it just me, or does Donald Trump look like Biff from Back to the Future? Like, that's exactly who he reminds me of. He reminds me specifically of Biff from Back to the Future 2. Like, when he's like banging Marty's mom and has the casino in the future, you know? He gave her some big old fake titties. Like, that's the kind of Biff that... Donald Trump is the kind of guy that made his money from his future self coming and giving him an almanac from the future. That's how he made all that shit. Don't listen to any lies about real estate. He found that DeLorean. He stole it because Marty's dumbass threw the almanac in the trash. Now he's got Biff Biff's Pleasure Paradise. Banging Marty's mom. You guys seen the show Naked and Afraid?
Yeah.
You like that show?
No.
I like it. I like it because, like, Naked and Afraid, if you haven't seen it, they just drop you in, like, a desolate area, and you have to survive for 21 days, but you don't have to actually do anything. You just have to, like, survive, and you're naked with some chick. And you can bring one thing with you. I think if I was going to go on that, I would just bring a jug of water filled with roofies. And they're not for the girl, they're for me, because I would just get to the location and like dig a hole and bury myself and then just eat roofies. And then every time I woke up, I would just drink more roofies. And like 21 days later, I lost 30 pounds. I won Naked and Afraid. What's up? Like, they're like, this show is really boring this time. This guy found a loophole. He's just sleeping in a hole. I want to start a show called Naked and Ashamed. And it's just like how long you can last like downtown Grand Rapids in your underwear before you have too much shame. You gotta like go inside. I want Josh Courtney, he was up here earlier. I want him to, that's who I want to do it, but I actually called the Grand Rapids police and I was like, can I wear my undies downtown and that's it? And they were like, who is this? They said it's cool though, so it's good with me. My girlfriend was out of town and we tried doing a little FaceTime sex. I don't know if anyone's up on that shit yet. Yeah, a little internet loving. And it was cool, except I don't know if you've ever FaceTime before, but there's like a picture of you there too, like in the corner. So like every time I'd be getting real into it, I'd like look at it and then I just see myself. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen what you look like while you masturbate in the face, but it's not necessarily boner inducing. It's just, you look real shitty while you jack off. I don't know, girls look kind of sexy. Girls are always sexy. Guys are like, ugh. It's like, it almost made me like not like her as much because I was like, why are you getting off on this? Look at me right now. Like, I got the tiny picture and I think it's shitty. You got like a whole screen of that busted shit. And it's, whatever, you know? I don't know how chicks are fucking with that dick though. I'd be on strike. That's for sure. I don't know. Sometimes I wish I was gay though. I know a lot of people have been talking about gay shit. I think it would just be easier to be gay, you know? Because like I get dudes, we hang out, we have great times, drink whiskey at bars, eat peanuts, throw them on the ground, watch baseball and football and shit. Would it be that bad if we just like hung out, watched some ball games, drank some beers, and the other night just sucked each other's dicks? Like, it's like one less thing to worry about, you know? Who's sucking my dick tonight? My best friend is, and he's fucking good at it, you know? I can't fuck with that dick though. I don't like that dick. I can't fuck with that dick. Gay people don't want me either. I'd be bad for the gay cause. Cause like, you know how they talk about like, guys are like, I don't want no gay person in my locker room watching me. Like, that gay guy doesn't exist, the guy who's just looking at everyone naked in the locker room. That's just something people say to scare people. But if I was gay, I'd be that dude. Like, be like, soak that dick up, boy. Yeah. I mean, like, if you put me if I'm into dick and you put me in a room full of soapy dicks, like, I'm gonna be checking that shit out. The gay people are like, we gotta get rid of him. He's fucking shit up. We just got marriage. He's dick crazy. He's fucking everything up. He's ruining all the stereotypes. He's out there talking to my straight friends. Like, come on, let me grab that dick. Let's go. See what happens. I can't fuck with that dick though. I don't know how anyone's fucking with that dick. Like women especially. Because like men, like, alright, there's mad replacements for the dick. There's all sorts of dicks out there. Future dicks, like robot dicks. There's no vaginas. We've been trying. We have scientists on that shit. And there are just no replacements for the vagina. There's only one. You can go to like a grocery store and just go down the produce aisle. There's like 13 dicks, like just in the produce aisle. Women have all these options of like vibrating dicks that can bend and wiggle and do all sorts of shit. And the best part about those future dicks is they're not attached to sweaty, hairy men. That's the best thing. And they don't spray you with goo. Like, what's up with that? Girls, you got a rough deal. You gotta shave your legs and paint your face, get paid less, and deal with that dick. Shit, you guys need a new union rep. You got a shitty contract. We're crushing you at the bargaining table. It's like, You know what you need to do, right? You just need to take that pussy off the table and be like, all right, you guys are gonna be fucking with yourselves for a while until we get a little more equality. And we'll be like, okay, sorry, whatever you need. Just don't make me deal with that slimy dick. The dick is mean too. How many women just wake up to like a penis poking their hip, like it's about to open up into a vagina or something? That's just like while you're sleeping, the dick just like creeps up into your brain and starts driving. He's like, I got this shit, ramming into stuff. Like you never know until you try. Might find some food somewhere. Just keep poking around. Autopilot. He's like, he reminds me of like the Monopoly man. He's got his like 2 saggy cronies behind him just flopping around, poking and prodding and searching for weakness. Then that goo. Then he sprays you with that goo. You do right by the penis and he sprays you with goo. It's a classic dick move right there. That's a classic dick move. And that's a fucking classic pun right there. Vagina is no picnic though. I know I'm talking a lot about that dick, but vagina is cool. It's just like, have you ever looked at it right in the face? It looks like a little slime goblin, just kind of like, it's got an attitude problem. It's always just chilling. Like I remember we didn't know what a vagina looked like when I was in like 6th grade, and we all had different theories about what the vagina was. And my theory was that like the woman's asshole was like just this all-purpose port. It was like poop, pee, dicks. It did it all. There's like this conductor in there, like, we got a dick coming in, shift it over. But I was wrong. That's not what happens. That's not what happens. I remember when we saw the vagina for the first time, my buddy had this like porno magazine, and it was like a real dirtbag style porno magazine with like a spread leg woman real close up. We all gathered around and looked at it, and I remember being like, we were way off. Like that's crazier than I could have imagined. Like, we need to get back to the drawing board. That thing looks fucking nuts. What's with all that shit? I mean, like, you know, I love the vagina. It's just like, it doesn't make very much sense. Like, the dick makes sense. You poke it in stuff, it squirts stuff. I feel like you rode one dick, you've ridden them all. The vagina's like nature's riddle. You're like, I got a new one, let's figure out what's going on here. Just fucking figure out the secret combination to this old guy. And it's just mean mugging you the whole time. Like, you ain't got it in you, motherfucker. It reminds me of like that scene in Willy Wonka when he plays the flute to get into the chocolate factory. I just think that the design process for the vagina was like a little bit flawed. Like, I think that God was making the vagina and he was like halfway done. And then he had his boys over and he was like, yo, what do you think about this box? And they were like, and he was like, don't worry, I'll get it, I'll fix it. But it was like when you were in high school and you had a project and you had like a poster board for that project, but you fucked it up, but you only had one poster board, so you just had to add stuff to fix it. And it was just like flap, cranny, flap, slime, nook, button, vagina. All I needed was that fucking rib though. Alright, I'll leave you on this one, guys. You guys... Sorry if I fucked up your genitalia for later, but it still feels good, don't worry. That's why they call it bumpin' uglies, because that shit's a mess. You guys know the only thing worse than snorting a line of coke off some dude's dick? It's when there's no coke. You're just sniffing some dude's dick. It's when you sniff a dick, you better make sure there's some cocaine on it, is all I'm saying. So, hey, I'm Mike Lasher, thanks.
Have you guys ever heard the saying, once you go black, you don't go back? Woo! These guys and that chick, I think you guys might have a date later. Alright, comedy shows. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, the saying, once you go black, you don't go back. You think Michael Jackson was like, I'll show you, Dad? I'm sorry, that's not right. It was more like, I'll show you, Dad. Hee-hee. I remember one day after school, I was experimenting with marijuana. And by experimenting, I mean a 10-year study. I was watching Cheech and Chong with my buddy Blaine. My dad came home. I was high. My dad came in the room and goes, hey, why aren't the dishes done, you dildo? And I go, we'll do the dishes right after this movie. My dad goes, we'll? And my buddy Blaine just pops into the blanket and goes, hi, Don. Yeah, my dad definitely thought I was gay. So in 2 seconds, I went from a pot smoker to a pole smoker. Growing up, my dad also called me the N-word. No way to say that for a joke. But for the longest time, I thought the N-word just meant somebody who didn't do the dishes. My buddy Marcus, one of my many black friends, tried to give me a pass. Tried to say I could have 3 N-words a year. I said that sounds like a trick. I'm not doing it. But how would that work? Would that be like T-Mobile? Would you get rollovers if you didn't use them? Save up for 30 years and do that DMX song you always wanted to karaoke? My cousin Hannah, I did this joke, she asked me, she said, Mike, what happens if you use up all your N-words? I said, I don't know for sure, but I know you can lose a basketball team. Okay, only a few of you guys have cable with ESPN on it? All right. Oh, I didn't tell you, broke up with my girlfriend 3 months ago, about. She called me today. Said, Mike, I got some big news. So what's that? She goes, I'm a vegan. I said, wow, pretty big news. She goes, Mike, I got some even bigger news than that. I said, what's that? She goes, I'm also a lesbian. I was like, holy shit. When you give up meat, you take that shit seriously. And then she sent me a picture of her new girlfriend. Kind of upset me. Because she looked just like me. But bigger.